Hello everyone, this is Reda, and in this video we will see how to create this to-do list where we can add tasks, mark it as completed or even delete it, and also saving your data in the local storage even you close or refresh the browser. All that just by using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. If you find it useful, hit the subscribe button and let's start. For this project, we will need an HTML file, a CSS file, and a JavaScript file. In the HTML file, we will start with this simple HTML structure. Let's have a title tag, simple to-do list, and a link tag that will connect the CSS file and the HTML file. So, inside the body, we will add the to-do container using the div tag with a title using the h1 tag, an input field where we can type tasks that have a text type, and the task input ID. And enter a task as a placeholder. Then a button to add task using the add task function. And both of them will be inside a div that have the class input section. Then an unordered list where our task will appear. And finally, a script tag that will link the HTML file with the JavaScript file. And all that give us the basic layout of our to-do lists. Next, let's move to the CSS. We will start with this basic styling that will give us a clean font and center everything in the middle of the page. For the to-do container, let's set the background to white. Let's add a 20 pixel padding. Let's make the corners rounded using the border radius. Let's set it to 12 pixel. Add a shadow effect using the box shadow. Let's say 0, 2 pixel and 8 pixel, black. 300 pixel for wide. And for the text align, it will be center. Next, for the input section, we'll use flex for the display. And we will add a 20 pixel for the margin in the bottom. Then for the task input, let's say flex 1. That's mean all the items inside it will take the same size. Next, an 8 pixel padding, a border. Let's make it light gray. Then a 6 pixel border radius. For the button, let's say a margin left, 8 pixel. A padding for the top and the bottom, we will say 8 pixel. And for the right and the left, we will set it to 12 pixel. No border. Let's say a green background. Border radius again, let's give it 6 pixel. And if I want to click on the button, I want the cursor to be a hand with a finger. To do that, we will use cursor pointer. Then for the hover effect, let's use a darker green. Then for the list, let's get rid of all the default styling using the list style type, none, and the padding 0. We have also some HTML elements that will be added using the JavaScript. We have the list item tag. Let's give it a white background. 10 pixel for padding. 8 pixel for margin button, display flex to make things in the same line, justify content, let's set it to space between, then align item to center things, and the border reduce with 6 pixel. Also, we will have some tags that we mark it as done. Let's give it a text decoration, line through, and the color gray. Also in the tag, the text will be inside the span. So like the button, when I want to mark a task as completed, I want the cursor to be a hand with a finger. So we will use again the cursor pointer. And that's the result. So now that we finished the CSS, let's go to the JavaScript file and make some functions. First, we'll grab our input field and task list from the HTML using the getElementById. We will write const task input equal document.getElementById, and inside it the ID of the HTML element. So it's task input. Same thing for the list, const task list equal document.getElementById task list. Now we will also add an event that load task from local storage. So let's write document dot add event listener, DOM content loaded, and the function load tasks. Don't worry, we will create it later. Now let's create our add task function. When we type something in the input and click on the add button, it will save the task into an array and also into the browser local storage, so it doesn't disappear when the page reload. So we will write function add task. We will check if the input it's not empty using the if condition. Next, we'll create a variable called tasks equal json.parse, and inside it local storage dot get item tasks. That's how we get data from the local storage. And if you don't have that item yet, we set it to an empty array, then push the new value to the task array using the push function. And then set the task item value using the set item. And convert the array to a JSON format string using the stringify. We add this line to make sure the task input value is empty. And then use the load task function. Next, we need a way to mark task as completed. For that, we will create the toggle done function. So we'll write function toggle done. It will have one parameter. It's a index. Like before, we will get data from the local storage, change it to done or reverse. If we click once on the tag, it will make it done. And if we click another time, we'll go back as before. Again, set the task item and use the load task function. Now, of course, sometimes we want to delete a task. So we add the delete task function. that will remove tasks from the array and in the same time from the local storage. So, function delete task index. Like before, we will get data from local storage. Get rid of the task that we want to delete using the splice function. Set the local storage item value, and then the load task function. And finally, we have the load task function, which is responsible for displaying everything. So we'll say function load tasks, get data from local storage, then we will make sure that there is no HTML inside the task list. Loop through the task array using the for each. And add each one inside the task list using the list item HTML tag. And that's it. We now have a fully working to-do list app where you can add a task, mark it as completed, or even delete it. And the best part is your tasks stay saved even you refresh or close the browser. So that was all for today. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a nice comment, and see you in the next one.